A beautiful 24-year-old LA mom takes her toddler girl, 18-month-old baby Emma, to a local park when suddenly she's attacked from behind with a blow to the head. Hours later, she comes to, but baby Emma gone. As police scour the area for her attacker, suspicion turns back to mommy.
This case is a tragedy. A beautiful 18-month-old girl is dead.
A young mom is accused of smothering her 18-month-old daughter and dumping her body near a California freeway. Police say Barker initially claimed she was assaulted and her baby girl Emma kidnapped.
It was the statements that she gave to the police, different versions of what occurred.
But later admitted making that story up and said Emma died accidentally. Autopsy results haven't been released, but investigators believe the little girl was suffocated.
For most mothers, the bond with her baby is sacred.
Oh, she's just perfect.
But for others, the love of a man
She was going to do anything in her power to keep him.
is more precious.
Some women were not meant to be mothers.
In Lancaster, California, on March 18th, 2009, a shocking crime occurs. A young mom is attacked in a park.
Emma?
And worse,
Emma?
her 18-month-old daughter is abducted.
Emma?
We had received a phone call at Homicide Bureau that there was a Amber Alert and an abduction up in the Antelope Valley in the Lancaster area.
I've been attacked. They've taken my baby.
She and Emma were at the park, and she was hit on the head, and Emma was taken, and she was possibly raped.
They've taken my baby. Emma!
It's a crime that puzzles police. There seems to be no motive. And the victim, 24-year-old Stacy Barker, doesn't have any enemies. She comes from a loving family who give the single mom all of their support from the day Emma is born.
Emma was cared for by her grandmother, Susan Barker, during the day while her mom, Stacy, went to work. Her mother, in fact, changed her working hours so that she could be home during the day to take care of Emma for Stacy.
Oh, she's just perfect.
And then went to work in the evenings and worked until the late hours of the night.
You got me great.
For months, Stacy is just that.
Both Susan and her husband said she was a great mother.
According to co-workers, she was very good with Emma. Emma was everything to her.
But the shine of motherhood soon fades in favor of a little fun.
A lot of young women that find they're pregnant think, oh, having a baby will be so wonderful and romantic.
Can't you hear Emma? What are you all dressed up for?
I've got a date.
You're not going out again.
But after reality sets in, the 2 a.m. feedings and the diaper changes and not being able to go out and party because they have to take care of their baby, the luster wears off.
Stacy wants a good time.
She's very uncaring, very narcissistic,
I won't be late, I promise.
and very self-centered, very selfish.
I'm not sure why Stacy even had Emma. She essentially dumped her on her parents.
Stacy! Stacy! Stacy!
Stacy wanted more and more and more freedom. Freedom to go out, to party, to date, to be with her friends.
Party girl Stacy is having a good time
Stacy!
everywhere
Stacy!
except at home.
Great, see you soon. What?
You can't leave Emma on her own like this.
She's fine.
No, she's not. You have to take more responsibility.
Oh my God, seriously, Mom?
Stacy!
And her mother is reaching her breaking point.
Stacy saw the world in terms of what the world could do for her, not what she was responsible for. And she didn't like having responsibilities.
It progressively got worse, and it got to the point where she would go out, she wouldn't come back until 2, 3 in the morning.
When did you get in?
When I wanted to?
And at some point, Susan said, this isn't healthy, and she began to confront Stacy about it.
You're still drunk.
Don't start. I gotta go.
While Sue picks up the slack of caring for Emma, Stacy picks up a new man.
He was a young man in his 20s, single. He worked 2 jobs, but he liked to party.
It's beautiful.
Stacy's main concerns in life were pleasing whatever guy she was with.
And for this guy, she'll do anything.
Who's that?
My mom?
Who's that?
My daughter? Emma?
It is not common for a woman to put anyone before the needs of her child. But Stacy had no problem with it.
You got a daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't good with kids.
It doesn't change anything. You don't need to be good with kids. You just need to be good with me.
She was falling in love with him. And she was going to do anything in her power to prove this love for him, even if it meant somewhat neglecting Emma.
Stacy falls hard for her new boyfriend.
Brad!
But the feeling isn't mutual.
He liked his life the way it was. He wasn't financially ready to take on a family, and he enjoyed being single and living that single life.
He purposely chose not to get close to Emma because if his relationship with Stacy ended, then he would disappoint Emma also, and he didn't want to do that.
Stacy is torn between her 2 loves.
In her eyes, Emma was basically in the way.
And the choice she makes is inconceivable. March 18th, 2009, Lancaster, California. 24-year-old single mom, Stacy Barker, looks like she's ready for work.
Called in sick? Really? Yeah.
But she has no intention of going.
She decided, I don't feel up to going to work, but she obviously didn't tell her parents this and the reasons why. And she dressed as if she was going to work, but then she went over to his apartment.
Back at home, baby Emma is being looked after by Stacy's mom, Sue. And she has had enough.
Poor Mommy is in big trouble when she gets home. One more for Nana.
I think Stacy was narcissistic, selfish, and immature.
Stacy's boyfriend makes it clear he doesn't want to be a father to Emma. And the dark depths of Stacy's desire are exposed.
They talked in general about their relationship and where he wanted it to go.
Why would she leave alone?
And I believe she felt that Emma was jeopardizing her relationship.
I'm sorry.
Well, sorry isn't good enough. This is the 2nd time you have made me late for work. You are going to have to get alternative childcare arrangements.
God.
Stacy went home and had the bad argument with the mother, and we believe that's when she said, I've got to make a decision here. And the decision she made was a fatal mistake.
My
not you, it's my boyfriend. She's never happy.
Welcome to motherhood.
Mom.
Emma was a burden. Stacy wanted her freedom. Emma had to go.
What? Eat it. Eat your food.
She had gotten into the argument with her mom, so she wanted to leave the house. So she packed up Emma and she told her brother Nick, who was at home, that she was going to take Emma to the park.
I'm taking Emma to the park.
But in fact, instead of taking Emma to the park, sometime after leaving the house, she had given Emma a dose of some type of medication.
To solve her childcare problems, she gives Emma a triple dose of an adult cough medicine.
I think Stacy overdosed Emma to kill her.
Emma, open up. Open up. It's really yummy. Have some more.
And it didn't work. So then she had to suffocate her herself.
Emma had marks on her face and her nose was bleeding to indicate that there was some pressure involved in this suffocation.
It is the coldest of killings.
She has the argument with her mother, and she decided, I've got to get rid of Emma. That's premeditation.
Stacy Barker murdered her 18-month-old daughter, Emma, because the attention of a boy she liked was more important than being Emma's mother.
Stacy now needs to get rid of her little girl.
When Emma's body was found, it was found in the shape of her car seat. That means that after Stacy killed her, she drove around with her in the car, probably at least 5 hours. That's how long it would take for rigor mortis to set in.
I have not seen anything like this in my career, for a mother to take the life of their child and actually show no care, no remorse. Just to discard her like she's a piece of garbage is just incomprehensible. I can't even imagine. She basically discarded her like trash.
Stacy, calm and collected, now contrives an alibi for her rape and Emma's abduction.
She injured herself in a way to make it believable that she had been abducted and assaulted.
She went to great lengths to stage this story to make it look like Emma had been kidnapped and that she had been raped.
Even after murdering her daughter, Stacy tries to draw attention and sympathy to herself.
They've taken my baby!
It was always about Stacy.
Her boyfriend dials 911 and arrives at the scene before the police.
They took my baby.
Who took your baby, ma'am?
But when they check Stacy's phone records, they find that at the time of the attack, she wasn't in the park, but traveling on a freeway. Her lies exposed,
In the back of the car.
Stacy tries another tack.
And I don't...
Without Stacy's help, we never would have found Emma until the high grass had been cut.
Come with us.
And they took Emma. They took my baby. And
Stacy's defense was that it was an accident and that Emma had actually suffocated on a plastic baggie.
Stacy told the police she tried to cover up an accidental death because she didn't want people thinking she was a bad mother. Stacy knew she was a bad mother.
Through this entire investigation, Stacy never once showed any remorse. I would label Stacy as a sociopath.
On May 24th, 2011, Stacy Barker is convicted of first-degree murder and child abuse.
To Stacy, motherhood seemed more like a life sentence than a blessing.
Sentenced to 25 years to life, she will be eligible for parole when she is 51.
When Stacy gets out of prison, she'll be too old to have children. That's a blessing.